Hello everyone, my name is Kay and welcome back to your Big Brother live feed recaps. Right now we are in the middle of week 10 in the house and we are nearing the end of the game. But even though we are near the end, the house is still very fluid and important decisions are still being made. Right now, nobody has a clear path to victory, which is making this a really interesting final stretch. There is a lot to get into, but before we begin, make sure you hit the subscribe button below just so you can stay tuned as we wrap up this Big Brother season. Now, let's get started. So when we last left off after the double eviction, there were only 5 players remaining and Monte was our new HOH. He had decided on Brittany and Alyssa as his nominations, but honestly, he was cool with either of them leaving. But as usual, everyone was waiting for the power of veto to be played before our decisions were officially made. So the house guests go off to play the veto, and when they return, we see that Brittany has won the power of veto, technically her second and a half veto of the season, and she will obviously be removing herself from the block. Now, I want to pause the story right here because apparently there was some controversy surrounding the veto comp. You see, normally the veto is always held during the day on Saturday. Usually everyone will pick the players for the competition in the morning and then the competition will be held later on in the afternoon. However, this time the veto happened in the middle of the night on Friday at like 4 or 5 in the morning when everybody was asleep. Now, we didn't get to see exactly what went down because Big Brother always shuts the feeds off for competitions, but apparently Big Brother woke everybody up with a 2-minute timer. You had 2 minutes to get ready, and if you weren't ready for the veto competition in time, well, you just don't get to play.
I was just laying there.
Oh, shit.
I just coincidentally. So I was like, I heard the ticking, and the second the ticking started, I got up. So I was like, sick.
That's crazy.
Otherwise, I don't think I fucking honestly would have been up like that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was surprised that if I was late, I was surprised that you were on time because I was like, there's no way Turner's usually out there, awake at that point. But
and apparently that is exactly what happened with Monte. I guess Monte had to use the restroom and put his contacts in, the normal stuff people do when they wake up. But Monte did not have time to do both things, so unfortunately Monte had to sit out of the veto and did not even get the chance to compete in the freaking final 5.
Sucked that I couldn't play, but I was just telling Turner.
I can't believe how that all played out.
Yeah, I was like, I take full ownership. It's okay. Like, I heard the warnings multiple times. I just thought I would have enough time to pee and put my contacts on.
Oh.
So, like, peeing couldn't have taken more than 30 seconds. I'm literally about to, put my contacts in, and I'm hearing, 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, this must be a sound bite. This can't be real.
I kind of have mixed feelings about this whole veto situation. Like, on one hand, yeah, Big Brother can do whatever they want, when they want. They can surprise people, have the competitions in the middle of the night, whatever. They're the overlords, right? And as a viewer, I guess this could be fun, watching everybody scramble in the morning and try to get ready and stuff. It could be kind of entertaining. But at the same time, they cut the feeds off, so we didn't even get to see the scrambling. Maybe they'll do some sort of comical editing or something to make it seem funny or entertaining for the viewers for the actual TV show. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to explain this away. But also, I do kind of hate that this trick was pulled so far into the game. This idea could be cute maybe at the beginning of the season. Maybe it's you wake everybody up for the veto competition and the last 4 people to get there are half knots for the week or something like that. But at this point, this far into the game with only 5 people left and it's a super important competition, I just don't think pulling tricks at the very last second really adds anything to the viewing experience for us, and it definitely doesn't add anything of value to the players. But I am going to try to be open-minded and wait till the edit to see how they're going to explain this. The edit might end up being a barrel of laughs, who knows? Anyway, back to the game talk. Like I was saying, Brittany has just won her second and a half veto of the season, so she's obviously going to be removing herself on the block, and this is going to leave up space for Monte to nominate either Turner or Taylor for eviction. This really puts Monte in a bad spot as he would prefer Alyssa to leave over anybody right now.
Alyssa from a competition threat is pretty low, but at the same time, if she happens to drag herself all the way down, like to final two, she's a much bigger threat to me and to you than anybody, just because of the emotional connections that people have.
To everybody.
Especially if Turner's not here and he's in Journey. So there's that. So that's where I'm feeling like, I feel like in my mind and my gut is telling me like, Alyssa would probably be the ideal one.
Brittany tries to convince Monte to target Turner and save Taylor, but this really isn't going to go over too well as Monte hates Brittany's guts.
If you did decide to make that move that really solidified with you, me, and Taylor by putting Turner up, that me and Taylor would finish it off and would get him out, and then that's done. And it's just you three and Alyssa, and we can get her out.
Yeah, pretty easily.
And we just keep it cordial, and we just, and then we'd be final three. We'd be final three, and then we just do the final three, two-part HOH, and then we just decide from there. Like,
Brittany isn't totally honest with Monte in this conversation, and he knows that. So any suggestions that Brittany says is just automatically going to be looked at sus. Like, at this point, Brittany could literally tell Monte to breathe, and Monte will just hold his breath just because Brittany told him to. Like, he does not trust her at all. Later on, Monte's gonna talk to Taylor about the conversation, and he has some choice words for Brittany.
It was just so bad, Taylor. It was just so bad. It was hard for me. Like, I just had to smile, like just sitting here and just hoping that she would stop talking, because it was just like digging herself a further and further hole. So I do not feel great about Brittany, to say the least.
The veto ceremony has not happened yet, so things are still up in the air, but as of right now, it looks like Taylor will indeed be the replacement nominee. However, Monte does not want Taylor to go home at all and is really trying to do his best to convince Turner to evict Taylor over Alyssa, which it seems like Turner is actually entertaining this idea. I don't know if Turner is being completely honest here, but even if Turner did want to keep Alyssa, Taylor should still be safe, as Brittany and Monte should still have her back. So overall, as of right now, it's looking the most likely that Alyssa will still be the one to leave this week. Even though I don't necessarily think that's the smartest move, considering her win history. With Brittany being so disliked right now and her win equity in the jury being so low, she should be a shoo-in to make it to the finale. However, even her GOAT status can't protect her from her messy gameplay that she exhibited last week, and right now she's still pretty much the #1 target in the house. The streets are saying that Monte and Taylor are the favorites to win this season, but that Turner is looking the most likely. But of course, I want to know what you all think. Who do you think are going to be in those final 2 chairs, and who do you think will be leaving this week? Let me know in the comments below. I personally am pleasantly surprised that even though there are only 5 people left in the game, and even though it's getting down to the wire, there is still so much flexibility left in the house, and there are still a lot of game conversations being had every single day. Of course, I will let you all know if anything changes, but until then, I will talk to you later. Bye.